In the previous demonstration we tackled how to upload learning resources. Now I will be demonstrating how to create online task. The first thing that a user must do is to open the school's SIAS learning management system. The first thing that a user must do is to open the school's SIAS learning management system. Upon navigating at SIAS learning management system, the user must select Instructor button. Upon selecting the Instructor button, the system will present the instructor login interface. The user must now enter the user ID and user password. Then click Login button. After clicking Login button, the system will present the SIAS Learning Management System main user interface. The user must now navigate through Transactions and select Test Bank. Upon selecting Test Bank, the system will present the Test Bank user interface. The next thing that a user must do is to select a subject for the test question. Select Search button to select a subject. After selecting a subject, click OK button. Upon clicking OK button, the system will automatically retrieve the selected subject and will present the subject at the Test Bank user interface. Now the user must select Add button. Upon selecting Add button, the system will enable the Test Bank fields. For my demonstration, I will first present how to create an instruction for a test question. The user must leave the test type blank and select instruction option at the test type. Then enter the instruction code, but do take note that for the encoding of code is based on the user preferences, or can also be automatically generated. After entering the instructor code, the user must now enter the instructions of the test. After entering the instructions, click Save button to save the instruction. For my demonstration, I will create instructions for every type of test. The first instruction is for the multiple choice. Now I will create an instruction for the true or false question. Next is the instruction for identification. Then the instruction for fill in the blanks. Then the instruction for enumeration. Then the instruction for matching type. Then the instruction for essay. Then the instruction for paste link. Then the instruction for upload pic. Then the instruction for upload doc. Then the instruction for upload zip. Here is the summary of created instruction, but do take note the given code for every instruction, for we will use it later for the organizing of test question. Now I will demonstrate how to create every question type. The first question type is the multiple choice. The user must first select test type. Then after selecting test type, the user must select question type to multiple choice. Then enter the question. After entering the question, the user must now enter the choices. Do take notice that I entered 4 choices. But also take note that every choice represents a number starting from letter A to letter D. So the choice A represent number 1, choice B represent number 2, choice C represent number 3 and choice D represent number 4. Now the user must enter the correct answer. But in entering the correct answer, the user must use the number representation. In this question, choice C is the answer, so I will input number 3 at the answer field. Then the user must now set difficulty for the said question. The purpose of this option is to categorize the given questions. Then click Save button to save the multiple choice question. My next demonstration is for a true or false question. Follow the same steps shown at multiple choice question, but at the question type the user must select true or false. Then the user must enter the question. After entering the question, the user must enter the value of the correct answer. Like in multiple choice, the answer is represented by a number. In true or false, true represents number 1 and false represents number 2. Then select difficulty and lastly select Save button. Now for my next demonstration, I will demonstrate how to create an identification question. Follow the same steps shown at the first 2 demonstration. But at the question type, the user must select identification option. The user must now enter the question and enter the correct answer at choices field. Do take note that the user must only input the correct answer at choices panel. Then set difficulty and lastly select Save button. Now for my next demonstration, I will demonstrate how to create a fill-in-the-blanks question. Follow the same steps shown at the first 3 demonstration. But at the question type, the user must select fill-in-the-blanks option. The user must now enter the question and enter the correct answer at choices field. Do take note that the user must only input the correct answer at choices panel. Then set difficulty and lastly select Save button. Now I will demonstrate how to create an enumeration question. Still the user must follow the same steps shown at the previous demonstration. But at the question type, the user must now select enumeration. It can be enumeration, in order, or enumeration, in any order. After selecting an option, the user must now enter a question at question field and enter the answer at answer fields, then set difficulty and lastly click Save button. Now I will demonstrate how to create a matching type question. Still the user must follow the same steps shown at the previous demonstration. But at the question type, the user must now select matching type. After selecting matching type option, the user must now enter column A at question field, and enter the column B at answer fields. Then set difficulty and lastly click Save button. Now I will demonstrate how to create an essay question. Still the user must follow the same steps shown at the previous demonstration. But at the question type, the user must now select essay. But do take notice that a user can limit the number of characters a student can make. It can be essay with a limit of 255 characters or an essay with a limit of 5,000 characters. After selecting essay option, the user must now enter an essay question at question field. Then set difficulty and lastly select Save button. For my next demonstration, I will be demonstrating how to create a paste link question. Paste link question is the type of question in which a student can paste a link as their answer. In order for a user to create a paste link question, the user must still follow the same steps at the previous demonstration. But at the question type, the user must select paste link option. After selecting paste link option, the user must now enter the question and set difficulty. Then lastly select Save button. For my next demonstration, I will be demonstrating how to create a question type in which a student can upload documents, pictures and zip file as their answers. And in order for a user to do this, the user must follow the same steps shown at the previous demonstration, but at the question type, the user must select either upload pic, upload doc and upload zip. Then the user must now enter the question and select difficulty, and lastly select Save button. Now that the user has successfully created questions, the user must now organize the created question for a student to take. The user must now navigate through transactions and select Test option. Upon selecting Test option, the system will automatically present the test user interface. The user must now select a subject to create a test. Click Search button to search a subject. Then select a subject and click OK button. Upon clicking OK button, the selected subject will be automatically presented at the test user interface. The user must now select a test type. Upon selecting a test type, the system will automatically create a code and description for the test. Then click Save button to save created test. Once the test is created, the user must now input test items. These test items are taken from the entered questions a while ago at the test bank panel. Now the user will select a test. Upon selecting a test, the system will highlight the selected quiz. Then the user must now select test items. Upon selecting test items, the user will be redirected to the input panel of test items. Now the user will organize the questions entered a while ago. First things first, the user must first input an instruction for the test, in which we have created instructions for every question type. The user will now select Search button to select an instruction. Upon selecting Search button, the system will present the search panel for test bank. The user must now select an instruction and select OK button to retrieve the selected instruction. Upon selecting OK button, the retrieved instruction will be presented at the test input user interface. Then the user will set a score per test item. But since out item 1 is an instruction, we will set it 0 and click Save button to save the instruction. Same steps will be followed for the test question, but now since it is a question, we will now input scores. Then repeat the same process until you have organized the test question. But take note, the test instruction should always be first before the test question. Please observe on how I will organize the test question. After we have organized the test, we will now preview the test question as an instructor. Click Preview to preview the test. Now that we have successfully created a test, we will now input it at the Schedule Online task in order for a student to take the quiz. The user must navigate through Transactions and select Schedule Online task. Upon opening Schedule Online task, the system will present the Schedule Online task main user interface. The user must now select a class. Upon selecting a class, the system will preview the schedule of students for the whole month. Now the instructor will input a start time and end time for the test, and select a date to set the quiz. Upon selecting a date, the user must modify the entered schedule into a quiz. Select the date and select Quiz option. Upon selecting Quiz option, the system will present the search panel for the quiz. Now we will set our created quiz, which is Quiz 9, as the quiz for today. Upon selecting the quiz, the system will automatically save the quiz. Now we will log in as a student to view the quiz. Open SIAS Learning Management System, and click Student button. Upon clicking Student button, the system will present the login interface for the student. The student must now enter the user ID and user password. Then click Login button. Upon clicking the Login button, the system will present the main user interface. Now the student must navigate through Transactions and select My Online Task to view the quiz. Click Take Quiz to start answering the quiz. Now the student must answer the quiz. After entering the final answers, the system will automatically save all entered answers. Now, since the student has finished answering online task, the instructor will now check online task and input raw scores. The instructor must navigate through Transactions and select Check Online Task. Upon clicking Check Online Task, the system will present its user interface. The instructor must now select a test to check. Upon selecting a test, the system will present the list of students who took the test. The user must now select a student to check his or her test. Upon selecting a test, the system will highlight the selected test. Then the user must now select the Check Answer button. Upon selecting the Check Answer button, the system will redirect the user to a new tab for the instructor to evaluate and check answer. At the new tab, the instructor must evaluate and input raw score of student by checking the answers per item. Please watch as I evaluate each questions. After checking and evaluating per item, the system will present the total score of student at the beginning of the new tab. Close the new tab and Upload tab, and return Check Online Task to view updated score of student. At the Check Online Task, the instructor has the option to show the score of the student by selecting the Show Score checkbox. Upon selecting the checkbox, the student can now view his or her score at their account. But this option depends on the instructor's preferences. Now we will check the given score by the instructor at the student's account.